Oh, here we go. We're live. Hello. Can you see me?
No.
So I've just got Lou with me here from my team. So she's just going to check that we're all working technically. Maybe just refresh the browser and see if that works.
Yes.
No, that's not me. That's not the right one. Hang on 1 second. You go back into, and then just maybe refresh the browser and see if I come up. Yeah, there we are.
There we are.
Awesome. We are live. We are live. Now, I can't see if anybody is on here because it's not telling me. So I'm going to rock and roll in a couple of minutes. But if you are joining us live, welcome. And just say hi in the chat. So drop us a quick note in the chat. Lou from my team will be in the chat. So she's going to jot down any questions you might have and she will give those through to me afterwards. So if you are on live, please say hi. There's a little bit of a delay, I think. Let me just hop over and see if I can see anybody in the chat. Can you see if anyone's there, Lou? Okay. We are 10 a.m. Okay. I'm just going to say hi in the chat to anyone. There we go. New technology. I've never used this for webinars before. I have been told that it doesn't glitch, unlike all my other webinar platforms that have done. We'll give it a couple of minutes for people to join. And then I will start with my slides. It is freezing here today in Sydney. Really stormy outside. We've got a fire going. But I'm excited to share with you this presentation on how to grow your email subscribers and your business on autopilot with a quiz. Because I've had huge success with this in my business and I've had so many questions over the past few weeks that I really wanted to share this with everybody. So I'm just going to give it a couple more minutes and then we will begin and I'll switch over to my side. So if you are joining us at the moment, if you're just logging on, if you've just hopped on the link, please say hi in the chat so we know that it's working. Because everything looks to be working, but you never know. I have done a webinar before and there was no sound, so that was fun. And I've done one before and there was no slides, and that was also fun. So I just want to make sure that everybody can hear, if you are live, that you can hear me. So just say hey in the chat when you log on. I hope it's working. Okay, I might just swap over to my slides in a sec anyway. What are we, 2 minutes past?
Yeah, 2 minutes past.
Okay. I'm going to share my screen. I'll just, hang on 1 sec. Okay. Can you see my screen on that link now, Lou? Or just want to make sure that my screen is popping up. No? Okay. No screen. Are we working? Is it all working? Oh, is that you that said good morning, or is that Lou? Lou, another Lou. It is another Lou.
Another Lou, not me.
Hi, Lou. Thank goodness. You can see me. Awesome, awesome. I think I'm going to get started because I was panicking that nobody could see me, but now I know that it's working. Yeah. We will get
Sarah's
going. Okay. Over to my slides in a second. So I just wanted to say hi to everyone. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. If you're in Sydney, you're probably in this rainy, cold morning. So I hope you're somewhere nice and dry because it's revolting out there. And if you are over stateside, then you're gearing up for summer. So lucky you. I'm going to hand over to my slides, but I just wanted to say hi and welcome. I'm Nikki. If you don't know me, this is my face. For those who have not seen me before. And today we're talking about how to generate an avalanche of email subscribers with just one quiz so you can grow your business on autopilot. So this is something that I've had great success with in my business, and I've had lots and lots of questions about it in the last few weeks. So I really wanted to share this with you. So I'm going to hand over to my slides. Can you see those on the screen, everyone? Can you just check if they're on the screen? Should be there. Okay. So for those of you who don't know me, my name's Nikki and I help business owners build lovable brands. I teach them how to attract and inspire audiences through powerful messaging and captivating content. I spent 17 years in corporate land building brand campaigns for Nike, Levi's, Billabong and IBM. And I've joyfully spent the last 4 years in my own business working with solo entrepreneurs and small businesses, and I've been fully booked in my own business for the last 4 years. I'm a lover of Hendrick's gin and chocolate, not in the same glass, avoider of the cold, and I have never seen Game of Thrones, which is surprising to most people. I will be binge watching though. I will be binge watching very soon. So you can see my, can you see my slides, everyone? Just want to double check you can see my slides. Okay. I'm just stopping for 1 second to make sure. Can everyone see my slides? Great, they can. Yep, can they? Are they saying yes? They can see my slides.
Full screen.
Oh, full screen. Are they full screen now, guys? Have they gone full screen? I've clicked full screen. They should be by now, hopefully. Are they?
No.
No. Are they tiny?
You can see them, but they're not full screen. Not yet.
Hang on. Okay, let's go back here and see if this works. Are they full screen now? Should be. I'll skip on and let me know if there's any problems. So without further ado, turn off any distractions. So stop the Insta scroll and all the tabs that are open, like we all have on our computers. And I'm going to whiz through this in about 45 minutes. It'll only take up 45 minutes of your time. I promise that it'll be value-packed, jam-packed, and there will be no fluff or no filler. So stay tuned as well, because there's something special for those who stay until the end. And I'm also going to do a live Q&A for anyone who's on live with us today. So tell me in the chat, what's holding you back from growing your email list and your audience? I would love to know. So just type that into the chat and Lou will take note of that for me. And I also want to know, 1 year from now, how many people would you like on your email list? And what difference would that make to your business? So tell me about that in the chat. What's holding you back? And 1 year from now, how many people would you like on your list? And also, does this sound like you? So growing your email list might feel slow and it might feel hard. It certainly did to me in the beginning. And so I totally understand if you're in that position at the moment. Maybe you're confused by all the advice on building an audience, because there is so much advice out there when it comes to marketing and building your audience. There are so many things that people tell us to do that it can become completely overwhelming knowing what to focus on. And maybe you feel like your content and your social media posts are going into the void. So you're sharing content, you're posting, but nobody is listening. Maybe you've got a lead magnet, so maybe you've created a free opt-in for your website, but nobody's biting. People aren't downloading, people aren't getting onto your list. You spend all this time creating something amazing that you think is great value, that you know will help people, but there's nobody downloading it. There's no more people getting onto your list. And creating content can feel like a full-time job. And I know that definitely from the early days, when you're blogging, when you're sending email newsletters every week, when you're posting on social media, you can feel like you've given yourself a full-time job just creating content. So tell me in the chat what you struggle with most. Is it creating endless content? Is it that nobody is biting with your lead magnets? Or is it that you're posting on social media endlessly and just not getting people responding? It can be any of those. It could be all of those. I know that I, at one point or another, have struggled with all of those. Oh, someone's telling me in Pages to press play. Hang on. Is that better now? Is it full screen now? Can everyone see? People are messaging me saying that it's not full screen. Is it full screen now? Hopefully. So my intention for you today, and with anything that I teach around marketing, is to do less marketing and get better results. Because as things change and as the world evolves and as digital marketing evolves, there is a new platform or a new trend popping up every single day. And it's really, really overwhelming. We can spend an amazing amount of time on it, but I really believe on doing less to get better results. So that's what I'm going to be telling you and teaching you today. The things that I have focused on, particularly this quiz, that have got me the best results in my business by doing less marketing. So what are we going to cover today? What are we going to learn? First of all, I'm going to take you through a simple system to grow your list, grow your brand, and your revenue on Autopilot. I'm going to talk about why a quiz is the fastest and most powerful list building and business building strategy ever. I'm going to take you through the 5 elements of a successful high converting quiz, and then we're going to have a live Q&A at the end. As I said, it'll be 45 minutes. I will go through as quickly as possible. Pop any of your questions in the chat. Lou in my team will be jotting them down, and I'll get back to those questions at the end of the session. So first of all, I wanted to kick off with a little bit of a story. So don't worry, I'm not going to talk about myself endlessly, but I am going to just take you back to 1991 for a minute, to a time that I fell in love. And I don't know if you were in England at the time, you will remember that Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves was a box office #1 hit. And for 16 weeks, we had to endure Bryan Adams at #1 with Everything I Do. It was the summer of 91. I was in middle school and my mum opened her first Benetton store. So if you were a 90s kid, you probably know that Benetton was just about as cool as it could get. And having your mum own a few Benetton stores, you know, put me in the cool kids bracket at school. So I went to school, plastered my textbooks with all their controversial advertising. And you can see from this slide here, I don't know if any of you remember, but there's the colored condoms. There was a woman of color feeding the white baby. There were people dying. They had a really controversial and bold message. They had a vision and a message beyond the clothes that they sold. They were about uniting the world, no matter what color, what creed, what sexuality. They were about bringing people together. And this was the time that I fell in love with marketing, because I realized something really important. I realized that a brand was not a logo. A brand was a relationship. It was a relationship that I could invest in. It created emotion, it created connection. And this was the time that I really decided that I wanted to work in the world of marketing. So off I went after school to university. I studied fashion marketing and branding. Then I went to work for Levi's, Nike, Billabong, IBM, and Red Bull, lots of different amazing global brands. And then in 2014, I left the corporate world to start my own business. So perhaps like some of you here today, I felt the pull to leave that corporate job. I had 2 small kids and I was struggling with the juggle. So now in 2019, I help small businesses build lovable brands. And my mantra is doing less marketing and getting better results. So maybe you can relate to some of the things that I struggled with when I started my business. Because even though I had a background in marketing and branding, and I probably started out feeling a little bit cocky and a little bit sure of myself, I soon got sucked in to shiny object syndrome. I had no idea what I should be focusing on. There were so many people telling me to do different things. I didn't know whether I should be building a social media following, whether I should be launching a website, whether I should have an online course, whether I should be building my list. The whole thing was completely overwhelming. And I didn't know where to find leads. Everyone was talking about having these huge email lists, and all the Facebook groups I was in, there was all these people talking about having these lists of tens and thousands. And I was just thinking to myself, how on earth do you find these people? Also, it was so noisy. When I set off with this spring in my step, thinking that I had something really unique and original to talk about, I didn't bank on how much noise there would be, how saturated it would be, and how hard it would be to cut through. And I also found it difficult to work out exactly what my audience would buy. I knew my stuff, but I didn't really understand what my audience was struggling with. And all of this left me completely pulling my hair out. I felt overwhelmed, I felt burnt out, I was doing all the things, but not getting the results. And then one day I was in a Facebook group and I was answering questions from people who were saying they were really struggling with their brand message, they were really struggling with their positioning. And in my one-on-one work with clients, I always start with brand archetype assessments. And so I thought, why don't I launch this archetype assessment as an online quiz? So I created an online quiz, I used a WordPress plugin, I put it out there into the world, and I felt like I had cracked the code. I had finally cracked the code to attracting people to my list, to generating leads, and to creating something that people wanted. This was my very first quiz, and here are some of the results. So I got 1,500 leads in just 3 weeks with just organic reach. Then over the next 2 months, I got a total of 3,290 leads onto my list. I generated 12 months of clients from this.
The slides have stopped moving.
The slides have stopped moving. Can anyone, oh, can you see now?
So,
what slide is on, what slide is stuck? Sorry, but we're just getting that the slides have stopped moving. Which one is stuck? Can you let me know what it's stuck on or what you can see?
Yeah, 2 people said the slides have stopped.
Oh, hang on 1 second. I'll go back in and see if I can reshare my screen. Oh, here I was thinking this was going to be the easiest piece of technology in the world. Okay, hang on. Going back to sharing my screen. Won't let me. Hang on.
It's looking good now.
Oh, can you see now?
Tell me in the chat what you struggled with.
Right, can everyone see the side that says my first quiz? Is that what's showing for you guys now? I'm hoping so. Can you just give me a yes in the, if that's what's showing for you now, my first quiz? Has anyone said yes, Lou?
Not yet, no.
There is a bit of a delay. Awesome.
We see now.
You see it, but it's not full screen. It is going to be full.
Good.
Yeah, all good, all good.
All good.
Oh, okay. What a roller coaster. So the first quiz, I'll just go back. I got 1,500 leads in 3 weeks, 3,290 over the 2 months, and it generated me 12 months of clients. So this was what helped me reach my first 100K year just by launching this one piece of content. So the piece of content was a brand archetype assessment. So I understood what people were struggling with. I knew they were struggling with understanding their unique brand personality and working out how to stand out. So the quiz helped them uncover their brand personality and their archetype, look at what their entrepreneurial archetype was, and then I gave them a detailed report on how they could apply this to their business. Move on a little bit in time, and then I've launched since then a brand strength quiz. So I felt like I really wanted to understand my audience more deeply, know what they were struggling with, know where the gaps were in their brand, and give them some strategic advice on how to plug those gaps.
It's gone black.
Oh my God. It might just be a little bit glitchy. So I'm just going to keep carrying on because it does say that it's still sharing. So I'll keep going and hope that it still keeps sharing the screen.
Yeah,
So
people say it's black.
Lord. Now, what I might do actually is pop into the chat. I'm going to pop into the chat the actual YouTube live link just in case you want to watch it live on YouTube. I'm just going to do that now.
As soon as you go to full screen, it goes black.
Right, so I won't go to full screen. Okay, I'm just going to stay not on full screen, people, because if I go to full screen, it obviously is going black. So I'll carry on. I'm not full screen now, so hopefully you can see me. We're all good. We're all good.
Don't go full screen.
Don't go full screen. Okay. Okay. So my brand strength quiz has had about a 31.6% conversion rate. Now that's actually lower than my previous quiz, but why? I asked people some pretty tough business questions in that quiz. My brand archetype quiz was like much more lighthearted, much easier to answer. This one asked people to dig deep, but the results from that have been so insightful for me. I understand exactly what percentage of my list are in what stage of business, how long they've run their business, exactly what they're struggling with marketing-wise, whether it's their message, whether it's their audience, whether it's their planning. And I was able to segment my list into those stages and switch up my offerings based on the outcomes. Also, I've been averaging around 104 leads per week. And if you look at, say, anywhere between 2 and 5% of your list converting into sales, that's a really, really good conversion rate to have ongoing sales with your audience. The benefits of running quizzes in my business have really been phenomenal. First of all, I've had content that people have wanted to share. So I haven't been having to pester people saying, can you please share this? You know, trying to get that viral shareability. It's content that people have wanted to share. It positioned me as an expert in brand messaging without me having to go out there and do too much. I got speaking and podcast opportunities. Marketing became so much easier. I've had a deeper understanding of my audience and an easy way to create money maker offers. And ultimately, all of this has created more freedom in my business. But more importantly, just a couple of months ago, I was talking to Tammy Guest from Naturepreneur, who has now become one of my clients. And she said to me, Nikki, your quiz had such a profound effect on my business. I still use those results to guide my messaging. It totally turned around how I looked at my business and how I knew to stand out. So giving such a valuable piece of content to people and giving them that insight has been so great for my business in more ways than one. I've used my quizzes to build my business without having a network of internet famous friends. I don't have this big online mastermind of, celebrity online marketers. I don't have a Facebook group of thousands. I'm not on social media every day creating endless content, trying new things. I don't have to take on clients that I don't jam with, and I don't have to work crazy hours. My quiz has helped me generate revenue in my business every single day. So it's one piece of content that has done the lead generation for me on autopilot. I just wanted to introduce you quickly to one of my amazing clients, Belle, who I think is on this live at the moment. So she has content that people can't get enough of. She has speaking and podcast opportunities. She's launching a new book this year. She's got a really deep understanding of her audience, and she's hit the first 500K in her business, which is pretty damn awesome. And I've really, really enjoyed working with her. So imagine what it would feel like to have an email list full of ideal clients that are all hungry to buy from you. I really want you to picture and feel into that, because having an email list that has qualified and responsive buyers is an absolute game changer for your business. Imagine also growing your audience and your business an easy way without having to create a new opt-in every other week, lots and lots of blog content, without constantly feeling like you're on that hamster wheel. So where do we start with all this? Well, first of all, I just want to touch really quickly on why I believe and why I know a quiz is the fastest, most powerful list building and business building strategy ever. And I don't want you to take it from me and the results that I've had, but there are some amazing stats to back this up. First of all, quizzes get attention and they keep it. So we all know in this really noisy online world, in the Facebook feed, in the Instagram feed, to get someone's attention is really difficult these days. We're being shouted at constantly from social media, from marketing, from advertising, and it's really, really hard to get attention. But harder than getting attention is actually keeping it. Our brains don't like to stay in a passive listening state. We always want something to do. So if we scroll and we see something and say it's a downloadable PDF or a checklist, there is nothing for us to do. There is no interaction once we've clicked and downloaded that. A quiz immediately activates the part of our brain that controls attention, engagement, and excitement. So we click on that, our brain moves from being in that passive state and we start engaging. So you go from something that could be 2 seconds of attention to maybe 2 minutes of attention. And those 2 minutes of attention make all the difference. They can position you straight away in your customer's mind as the right person, and they start the beginning of that relationship. So tell me in the chat, how would it feel if you had an easy way to get attention for your brand? If you had a really easy way to get attention and to keep attention? The next thing that a quiz does, and particularly personality-based quizzes, are they activate our tribal instincts. So as humans, we all want to understand ourselves and our place in the world. We like to think of ourselves as individual and unique, but central to our psyche is understanding where we fit, putting ourselves in a tribe, in a box, and putting our hand up and saying, yes, I'm one of these people. And when we do that, we then in turn share this with other people. We love to share the results of where we belong. We love to say, yes, I'm an explorer archetype, or I'm a Samantha from Sex and the City, whatever it might be. We like to choose, and then we like to let people know who we are. I'm not a Samantha, by the way, I'm definitely a Carrie. But anyway, according to BuzzFeed, the average quiz gets shared about 1,900 times. And that's probably on, a lot of those kind of Harry Potter-esque quizzes, but I know that a lot of the organic growth of my own quiz was from people sharing it. So how would you like your content to be shared without you having to do the legwork? How would that make you feel, and how would that make a difference to your business? For me, it's been amazing, and for other people that I've implemented this for, it's really, really changed things from being that constant push to being in a place of ease when it comes to growing your business. Also, when it comes to content, quizzes are some of the highest converting content around. So according to Experian, for every dollar we spend on email marketing, the average return is about $44.25. So to get the most people on your list for the least amount of money and the least amount of effort, you really need content that converts. So putting content out there all the time without it converting is a lot of effort without return. Interactive content like a quiz converts up to 5 times higher than any other type of content. It's also proven that if you use a quiz in the initial buyer awareness stage, that it's the most effective medium to use. So how would you like to reach more people with less time and less money on marketing? I know that that was a big thing in my business. I balance my business with my family, with my kids, and I like to fit it into the pockets of time around that. So less time and less money on marketing for me is a big yes. So I'd love to know if that's the same for you. Another thing about quizzes is the growth on autopilot. So once you have created this one piece of content, you can generate leads on autopilot. So you don't have to churn out that content week after week. You can get anywhere between 15 to 100 responsive leads every day. And if you want to put paid advertising behind it, Facebook advertising, even more. And as I said before, 100 leads, converting at say 2 to 5% is 2 or 5 potential customers every single day into your business. Also, a great byproduct of creating a quiz is the authority it creates for you. So your quiz and your topic gets you known. By creating something that you are an expert in and putting your knowledge out there and having people take that quiz, it automatically gives you the status in other people's minds as an expert, and it grows your influence at lightning speed. The last thing, and the really most important thing that I have found though, is segmentation. So people are craving personalization. We don't want to be spoken to en masse. Not everybody that you attract into your business or onto your email list has the same thoughts, feelings, or beliefs, or are at the same stage in their business. So being able to segment your audience is absolutely critical. Because according to HubSpot, personalized call to actions can generate up to 200% more higher conversions than something generic. So it means that you can create audience-specific offers and sell more. So I want you to imagine how it would feel if you had an easy way to create money maker offers in your business. Now I want to take you through the 5 elements of a successful high converting quiz. So this is the time to grab your pen and paper and start to take notes. And if you've been drifting off, I could sound the alarm, and this is the time to tune in and listen to the meaty part. The first thing you really need is an audience-focused topic. Now that might sound quite obvious, but you need to stick with the principle of what's in it for me. And when I say what's in it for me, I mean what's in it for the customer, not what's in it for you. So think about the problem that keeps your audience awake at night. What is the overarching problem that your business, your brand, your product or service solves? And then you want to reverse engineer that. So look at the problem that's keeping your audience awake at night. Put your audience into groups of outcomes, so buckets, and then reverse engineer the topic. You want to be able to give your audience a win with the quiz that you create. So you're speaking to a problem and you're giving them part of the solution. And I'm going to give you a quick example here. So V-Shred do this really well. So if you're trying to lose weight and you're trying to work out what to eat and you don't know what you should be eating for your body type or what kind of exercise you should be doing for your age or your gender or your body type or your unique circumstances, they've got a quiz and you take, it takes 45 seconds and then it will tell you what kind of diet and training you should do for your specific body type. So it answers a really clear problem. The second one that I really like is from Todd Herman. So he has a quiz around discovering your performance style. So he knows that most business owners are struggling to meet their goals and struggling with managing their performance. And we all have different performance styles. So he's categorized his audience into 3 main buckets of performance style. And then he uses a quiz to tell you which one you fit into and then give you those actionable steps to help you solve that. So always think about the problem you solve and the individual audience segments. The next one is to capture what I call AIOs, so activities, interests, and opinions. Knowing what your audience are interested in and their opinions on things gives you a deeper level of insight into psychographics rather than just playing at that level of demographics. So rather than saying I'm targeting Jane and she's 25 and she works in corporate, you now know what this person is interested in and what their opinions are. And the really great thing about asking people's opinions is we love to give them. It plays into our ego. We love to tell other people what we think and we love to share it. So here's a quick example. Which of these classic movies speaks to you? So there's 6 different movies, and not only does it let people give their opinion, but it also gives you an insight. If most of your audience are selecting Rebel Without a Cause, you kind of know what type of person you're appealing to, and then your copy, your content, and your offers can be tailored to speak to that person, to personalize and to speak to them more intimately. The next thing you need is actionable outcomes. So I touched on this before when I talked about Todd's quiz. The outcomes of your quiz need to have a positive slant on them. So for example, if you've got a quiz about, should you be an entrepreneur or what kind of entrepreneur should I be? You don't want to be giving an outcome of, no, you're a big fat loser, you should stay in your job. You really want to make sure that there's a positive spin on what you're giving to people so that you give them something that they want to share with other people, but also something they can action to enhance their results. So exactly as you would with any other lead magnet, you're giving someone a small win. You're giving them insight about themselves and then something to do with that insight. So the example here of Todd's quiz again is he talks about valuing your values. So he comes up with the values aligned to your performance style. And he says here that you value creativity. And then he gives you some tips on how to manage your creativity and how to grow with your creativity in your business. The next thing you need is a click-worthy headline. So according to a study by Copyblogger, 8 out of every 10 people read your headline, but only 2 out of 10 will read on. So a good title can increase your traffic by as much as 500%. If you can't get the click, it doesn't matter how amazing the rest of your quiz is. You really need people to click on that headline. And as a rule of thumb, you should spend as much time thinking up the perfect title as you do actually writing the rest of your quiz. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. And you should write out at least 25 headlines before you land on the one that's going to work the best. So here are a few tips for creating a quiz headline. Use the word you and your to add personalization and to speak directly to people. Keep it really short and punchy, no more than 8 words. If you're talking about numbers, so it could be the 7 types of entrepreneurial style, use odd numbers only. There's a weird psychology behind that, but people are attracted to those odd numbers in headlines. Add comparison in there. So it might be, which celebrity diet is yours most like, or which entrepreneur are you most like, or what eating style are you most like? Are you like a pescatarian? Are you XYZ? And then use the actually formula. So if you insert the word actually into your headline, that also piques interest and curiosity. So I've got a few examples here of some great quizzes. So there's what type of dog personality are you? What's your coffee personality? What's your beauty sleep score? And is your idea profitable? So you'll notice with all of those, they're pretty short headlines. They all use you or your, and they're really clear about what they do. They do what, you know what you're clicking on. And there's an element of curiosity because each of those are asking a question. The 5th element, and one of the most important ones, is having a really simple software. So really simple platform for your quiz. There's lots of different platforms you can use out there. There's WordPress plugins, there's free platforms. It needs to be simple, intuitive, integrate with your email, also integrate with your website and be budget friendly. I use and recommend Interact quizzes. I've used those for my last 3 quizzes. They are super user friendly. They're really cost effective. Their basic plan is only $17 a month. They give you amazing insights. You can see what questions people asked, who answered what. You get in detail graphs on everything. You can see how many people are converting, what questions people might be dropping off at, so you can go in and tweak your quiz. How many people, which questions were the most popular. For me, this has been really, really insightful. I can go in there and see against a specific question. If I've asked a question around ideal audience, I can see how many people answered this question, in what way they answered it, and then create a piece of content that's tailored to their needs. And I'm going to give you one bonus step. You must have a nurture sequence. So they always say the fortune is in the follow-up, and nurturing each segment of your quiz with specific emails is the perfect way to warm them up to buy from you. So you don't want to go straight in and ask for the sale when someone's taken a quiz. If they're on Facebook, if they're on Instagram or social media, or they land on your website and they take a quiz, that's the initial first kind of warming up step. You then need to take them through the stages of the customer journey with your emails. So 5 to 6 emails that nurture them through each of those stages. Don't miss the opportunity by sending them a standard welcome sequence. A nurture sequence makes a huge difference to how you will convert those leads into buyers. So just to recap on what we've covered, I've taken you through why quiz is the fastest and most powerful list building and business building strategy ever. We've talked about the 5 elements of a successful high converting quiz. And then I've taken you through those 5 elements: the problem and solution, being audience focused, the click-worthy headline, the shareable outcomes, the simple software, and having a nurture sequence. So I'm guessing that you're here today because you want more leads coming into your business without having to do lots more work. Maybe you want a simple way to grow your business on autopilot, because I know that's a holy grail for so many of us in online business. You want to become the authority in your niche, and you felt like growing your list has been difficult before. You're ready for an easier way, an easier and simpler way to grow your list. So now is the time to do this. Now is your time. It's your time to have a system that brings in clients consistently so that you can have the freedom that you started this business for. It's your time to become the authority in your industry, to become known with that piece of content that everyone wants to share. It's your time to feel the joy of saying my offers and my services are sold out. And it's your time to stop thinking about building your email list and finally grow your email list. It's time to launch a quiz and grow your email list on autopilot with the help of a step-by-step system. Now, remember, nothing I've shared today is theory or ideas. All the things that I've shared around quizzes are things that myself and my clients have done to grow an audience on autopilot. I don't have any special skills when it comes to quizzes. It's something that I've learned along the way when it comes to marketing in my business. I've just got a system that works, that consistently and predictably generates leads for my business. And if I can do this, so can you. So I want to introduce you to the quiz funnel blueprint. It's an online course that grows your list, your brand, and your revenue on autopilot. It's a 4-module online course. So Tiana has done the training on empathy mapping. So we cover empathy mapping and understanding your customer, and said now she's laser clear and focused on exactly what her customers are thinking and knowing exactly how to speak to them. My client Ashley had loads of creative dreams, and now she has fully booked retreats and coaching. And Rochelle was completely lost when we started working together, and she ended up with 500 new leads onto her email list in just 1 week, which is pretty phenomenal. So what you get in the program are 4 complete modules taking you step by step through creating, launching, and promoting your quiz. There are 3 amazing bonuses. You get templates and resources every single step of the way, checklists and video training. There's a private membership site where everything is hosted. You'll get the tech training. Plus, I'm doing 4 weekly group calls, and there will be a Facebook community where you can jam with your peers, and we can talk all things quizzes, and I will be in there every day helping people out. So by the end of the course, you will have created and launched your live quiz. So you can say hello to leads and goodbye to overwhelm. You'll have integrated the quiz with your email software and landing pages and have a simple and easy way to capture your leads every single day. You'll have created a killer email nurture sequence that will convert your leads to sales, so you can say yes to more sales and more revenue in your business. You'll have developed and launched a promotional plan that will drive traffic to your quiz, give you new authority status and wildfire word of mouth. And finally, you'll have freedom from the content hamster wheel, which is super, super important. So what will you learn in each of these 4 modules? In module 1, we start with empathy mapping, so uncovering your customers' desires and needs. Pretty much mind reading your customers. Then we go into secret segmentation, where you'll create the buckets and you'll create the results and the outcomes. There's a really simple system that I show you how to do this. We'll decide on the objective for your quiz. Are you using a quiz to launch? Is it going to be an evergreen quiz? Is it specific to a product or service you're selling? Or is it around building your brand? We'll craft the big idea and the big hook for your quiz. And in this module, you'll get every template, checklist, and video you need. And at the end of the module, we'll have a weekly group call where we can review where everyone's at and you can get feedback from me. Moving into module 2 is all around crafting captivating questions. I'll give you tips on exactly how many questions and the way to phrase the questions so they get answered. And I'll give you examples to follow. I'll teach you about creating click-worthy headlines, and you'll get templates and swipe files for both. Also, creating your results pages. I'll show you examples of high converting results pages and best practice. You'll get plug and play templates, and again, we'll have a weekly group call to keep everyone on track. Moving into module 3, this is all about building your quiz on the Interact platform. So I will give you step-by-step video tutorials on exactly how to do it so you do not have any tech nightmares. It is super simple. I'll show you how to integrate your quiz with your email provider, how to integrate it and embed it into your website, and how to create landing pages that convert. The end of this module will have a weekly call, and I will be able to review the quizzes that you have created. Module 4 is all about promotion. So you'll get a promotional calendar that you can follow step by step. So you'll know exactly what to say and what to post on every single day to promote your quiz. We'll go through email welcome sequences, how-tos, and examples. I'll talk about the 10 best ways to promote your quiz and generate traffic for best results. And again, we'll have the weekly call. Plus, I have got some pretty amazing bonuses. Bonus number 1 for action takers in the next 72 hours only is the Facebook Live Growth Guide. So I'll take you through my Facebook Live training and script templates, how to run super engaging and effective live streams to build your brand and drive traffic to your quiz. And I'll also show you a sneaky way to use video to drive traffic and get cheaper opt-ins if you want to do paid traffic. Bonus number 2 is the email conversion copy swipe file. So you'll get email nurture templates to plug and play. You can use those 5 or 6 emails to nurture your leads into buyers. And I'll also give you examples of some really great nurture sequences that you can use for launch or for evergreen. And then finally, everyone wants amazing graphics that they can use on social media to promote their quiz across Instagram, Facebook, and also within their quiz and for the live reports page. So I will walk you through a video tutorial for Canva graphics with my tips and hacks on how to create really professional looking graphics in no time at all. I'm a massive fan of Canva. I create every individual graphic on my website, in my presentations, and for my social media myself. And I've only ever used graphic. I have Canva. I've got no graphic design experience. So I will show you all my nifty tips and hacks in this. Plus, you will get the private Facebook community. So every day you can be in there with your fellow course takers, jamming and asking questions and sharing your quizzes with each other. So you're invited to join us to grow your list, to grow your brand and your revenue on Autopilot the easy way. All you need to do is click the enroll button, which will be below this video. So you should find on this webpage, right below the video, a button to enroll. This will only be live for the next 72 hours and then the program will be closed. So you've got 72 hours to join us in the quiz funnel blueprint. Just wanted to introduce you again to Belle, who came to me feeling scattered with lots of audiences and offerings, couldn't see the label from inside the bottle of gin, I like to say, and wanted to 10x her growth. She now has sold out workshops. She's got an amazing personal brand, crazy engaged audience, media exposure. She's launching a book in the next month, and she's grown her revenue exponentially. So come and join us. Now is the time to grow your list, your brand, and your revenue on Autopilot the easy way. All you need to do is click the button below the video to enroll. And you might have a question around investment. It's usually a question that crops up for people. What is the investment? So hiring me to do this for you, to write your copy for your quiz, to build your quiz, would cost $3,000 upwards. The total value of all the training templates, community, and resources is more than $2,000. But this is a special pre-sale offer. The course will be live and available on June the 24th, so 3 weeks from today. And because this is a pre-sale, I'm taking $300 off the normal enrollment price. So the normal enrollment price is $597. For the next 72 hours, you can enroll for just $297, or you can do 4 easy payments of $97. After this, the course will go up to $597, and there won't be the live calls on the next round of this program. So this is the only time you'll get the live calls, the Facebook community, and the $300 off. So how does a pre-sale work? When you purchase, you save the $300 and you get access to the first module on Monday, the 24th of June. There'll be 1 module per week over 4 weeks, but you get lifetime access. So you can take the course whenever it suits you. The weekly calls will be held once a week. You can get live reviews of your work, live reviews of your quiz, and share those during that 4 weeks. But you will get lifetime access to the platform, all the training and all the tutorials, and as they're updated, and the bonuses will be delivered at the end of the program. So come and join us in the quiz funnel blueprint. All you need to do is click the button below to enroll. If you've got any questions, pop them in the chat. If you're struggling with anything regarding enrollment, please let us know. It's super easy. So when you click that button below, what you'll see pop up is the cart page, and you've got 2 easy options. You can either pay $297 in full, or you can pay the 4 easy payments of $97. All you need to do is pick your payment option, enter your details, and complete your order. It's as simple as that. I'd really love to have you in this program. As I said, it has been a game changer for my business. It's been the one consistent piece of content that has generated leads in my business day in, day out, without me having to be on that constant content hamster wheel. I've got a lot of experience in testing and trialing quizzes. I use both my, copy conversion head plus my brand strategy and marketing head when doing these. And I'd love to help you in this beta round to build your quiz and start to see your list grow on Autopilot. I'm really, really passionate about people doing less marketing and getting better results. So I'd absolutely love to have you in the program. If this sounds like it's the perfect fit for you, then please click the enroll button below. And now, if there are any questions, I will answer the questions. So Lou is going to give me my questions.
Okay, Marianne's on holiday when the first course starts. When's the next course? When she enroll on that one?
I'm not sure when the next round is going to launch. It will be, so there's 4 modules and then there's 4 weekly calls, but you don't have to attend live. I can't give you a date for when I'll launch again. I'm not entirely sure at this stage. It could be in a couple of months' time. It could be 3 months' time. It's just, you know, this is something that I've been asked for by lots of my audience, and I've, you know, created this to respond to what people are asking for. But the calls are recorded, and the Facebook group and the platform are live, you know, for lifetime, for as long as the course is around. So even if you're not here, you can access those modules, and you can still get feedback in the Facebook group if that helps. Are there any more questions?
At the very beginning, Marianne, Rachel and Gab were asking, what do you struggle with most?
What do I struggle with most? In growing my list?
Yes.
Particularly in growing my list?
I think that's what they're referring to.
Look, in the beginning, the thing that I found difficult with list growth was knowing where to find people, knowing what people wanted, and then having a consistent way to talk to them. I found the whole kind of side of it overwhelming because I come from a really corporate background where I had lots of people doing those things for me. So I really, you know, had a team of people on hand creating content, generating content. We had advertising budgets, and I wanted to do this, you know, as organically but as quickly as possible. And in those first few months, I put out, you know, different PDFs. I had checklists, I had downloads, I had all sorts of different things. I was posting endlessly on social media. But I honestly, it wasn't until I launched my quiz that gave me that really interactive piece of content that gave me those 2 amazing things. First of all, it gave me something that people wanted to share for me without me having to do anything. And then secondly, it gave me that insight into my audience, which I didn't have before. So I could go out with really, really tailored offers. And it really does surprise me that to this day, I will meet people. I was speaking at an event a couple of months ago, and someone came up to me and told me that they'd done my brand archetype quiz 3 years ago. You know, I was interviewed on a podcast just a couple of weeks ago with Tammy, and she talked about the profound effect that it had on her business. And I really do think that it's given me an amazing insight into my audience. I think when you're not a big business, we don't have the ability to mine data, to understand, you know, you can't go out and do surveys and surveys of people. You can't always get people in a room. You can't phone people and do tons and tons of interviews. So this is, you know, the cheapest and easiest way to get an insight into your audience, but also give them something in return, give them a small win, and start to establish that relationship with them. I've really, really found it, you know, completely invaluable.
Okay, another question. How long would we have access to the content for?
You get access to the content for, you know, as long as the course is around. I say lifetime, but, you know, as long as the course exists for, the content will be available. So yeah, you can, you know, it'll be there permanently in the membership site. The way that I'm going to do it is to, you know, drip the content over week by week, over 4 weeks. But at the end of that 4 weeks, the content will be there for life. So you'll have it's hosted on Teachable. So when you go into Teachable, there'll be the video trainings, there'll be the PDF downloads, there'll be the checklists, all those different things that go with it. And then you'll have the weekly call plus the Facebook group where you can ask questions. So again, with the Facebook group, you've got access to that for life. The weekly calls, there'll be a break after the 4 weeks with the weekly calls until the next round starts. And as I haven't set a date for the next round, I don't know when that will be, but you can jump on those weekly calls anytime that the course is running. Okay. So I help you with everything as well on the tech side. It is pretty simple and intuitive, but there are a few things you need to know about setting it up. So I'll show you how to embed your quiz into Squarespace, how to embed it into WordPress, how to use your quiz in an ad, how to write copy for your quiz for quiz ads if you want to use paid traffic, and then how to write those email sequences that follow. Any more questions? I'm just waiting to see if any more questions come through. I'm just gonna stop sharing and pass back to my face. Any more questions, guys, before I close off the masterclass? I just wait because there is a tiny bit of a delay when they come through sometimes. So I'll just give it a couple of seconds. But I'd love for you to join. So you should see, technology gods permitting, the enroll button below. All you need to do is click on that link. You go through and you can select whether you want to do the full payment, which saves you $91, or the 4 installments of $97. When you complete that payment, you'll get an email from me. I will be sending out a little bit of pre-work over the next week or so. And then on the 24th, we'll go live with that first module. So I'd love to have you in this very first round of the quiz blueprint funnel. If you've got any other questions that you haven't managed to pop into the chat, you can just email me, nikki@nikkiclark.com.au, and I'd love to have you along for the ride. So thanks so much, guys. If there's no more questions, I will say goodbye, and thanks for joining.